Building in the yard crane. It's going to be on a brick staging, and it's going to be able to lift wagons from the track to go to the workshop. I've taken the Hornby crane off the chassis. We know I'm going to use that chassis later on in the build of this layout. I built a rough cardboard cutout in a minute, just a piece of card, just put together, just to give me an idea of. It's going to sit on a brick staging. I've transferred the cardboard cutout that I done onto some placky card. So I've got the right side, the left side, the rear, and the two front pieces. Them two front pieces I'm going to put windows down there and there. The back door is going to have some inspection hatches there and there, which there'll be doors just glued back on. All the shaded areas are coming out. It's window, window. That's going to be a grill and a grill. Window, 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 window. And the roof's going to have a slider. So is it when this is on there, and the jib is down for the evening, or it can be closed and it's slid open for the jib to come back up. The pieces have come out okay. We've got the back, two sides, two doors, two pieces for the front, and the roof vent. They cut out quite good. I've put some rivet marks in with a hammer and a screw. What I've done is mark the other side out, kind of a grid pattern, just give it a tap with the screw, just to give a mark on the other side. It's somewhat crude, but it looks the part when it's all painted up and weathered in. So there's the pieces ready now for joining together. Making the platform for the crane to sit on, I'm going to use some of this placky brickwork, sandstone, plastic brick sandstone, but obviously needs a background because it's very thin and flexible. So I've cut a piece of card with some V cuts out of it, so it will fold. When it folds, it will fold, quite tidily. So that's, and then I can put the sandstone on it. So that's going to be the base that the crane's going to go on. Base is made. Just made it into a box, and I have some plaster of Paris steps out of my bit box. I've had these ages, never knew what to use them for. There's another half to this, and I've decided to use it as a coaling stage over by the engine shed. Anyway, that will now, this plastic brick will fit round that, and then I'll put a grey top on it. Crane can go on there using the original screw. At the moment I've got a little grub plug from the roof of a coach, because it's the same screw. That screw in there, Hornby use it for absolutely everything. So that brass screw is a sort that holds the roof on the coach. So I've just broken that piece of plastic off the inside of a roof of an old coach. So that's going to go mounted on there. Right, so I put the pieces of plastic card together. I use that plastic weld liquid. You can see the rivet marks. I've put 1mm drill holes all the way up there to use as handrails. I'm using staples. I've got some loose staples here ready to glue in, and I've also put them onto the roof of the building. The windows in there are from a utility vehicle from the early Hornby range. It was one of those plastic things that go up and over the roof and back down again, so there was a fair bit of it. I think it was a Southern Region utility coach I took it out of, one of the green ones. So that looks quite effective in there. I've put it in the front windows as well. I've made the, I'll show you the back. It's got some inspection hatches which I've glued on. To cut them out and just glued them back on again. I'm going to put some vent covers or something here. I'll look in the bit box and see what I've got. Now, the base has been done. Made this out of a box. I stuck plastic brickwork on it. Filled it with polyfiller around the corners. Mixed my polyfiller with some brown emulsion paint, so as it takes the white away from it. So that goes on there, that goes on there. Now the corners of here, the plastic coming down the corners and going across the roof, and the ones on the slider is this stuff I bought off eBay, polystyrene L angle, 2mm, so it's small. I don't remember how much it was. It was just something I got off eBay. And it finishes the corners off quite nicely. You can sort of hide a couple of mistakes with it as well. So my next job now is to put the handrails in, glue the handrails in, and get started on the paintwork. So I've painted the crane now. I fitted me staples that use it as a handrail and a ladder to come onto the roof. I fitted a couple of LED bulbs, put a cover over them. I've mounted it onto the base with the brass screw. I put a couple of hatch covers on that I found in my bit box. And the theory is that we lift these wagons off the delivery road. They're coming in for repair. This is a repair yard, so they're going to come in for repair, be lifted from this track to this track. There's going to be a building here, and I've started the building here. Hang on, let's get the crane out of the way. I've started the building here, so the crane will lift from here to here, and then the wagon will go in there to be repaired. So I've started that building. So I'm going to build a building similar to that, just there, but a bit bigger maybe. The crane has come together pretty alright. I'm not too sure about the lights on the front. I'll live with them for a bit. I might take them off. I've wired them through in there, and there is a hole going down through the crane, so I can put the wire in down through there. But yeah, it's come together quite all right. And it's a double O gauge crane that come off of the Hornby. I'm building it into O gauge, and it's come off the Hornby chassis. But these people are O gauge people, and this guy in here is O gauge. So I'm building O gauge narrow gauge, so this is double O gauge track and O gauge building, so it's that O-16.5 or ON30. So I've been doing a little bit of building. I've made a couple of engines. There's one over here. I've got another one of these to make at the moment, and this is the GWR, a little green GWR from Hornby. So I've done a little bit of building on that, and again it's come into O gauge size. So I'm going to do a video on building one of them. I've got another one underway to do that. So that's my version of a yard crane.